What's up, y'all? What it do? Welcome to another episode of The Bread Tuck, The Executive. I'm Chris, that's Mike, and today we have a very special guest. We got my boy S. Dot in the building, man. What's up, baby? You good?
What's going on? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
What up, Sean?
Good, man.
So, man, once again, man, y'all don't know, man, this is a Sharpstown connection right here. Boy, S. Dot. He was one of the older heads at the time, but you know, we definitely still are kicking. We still are good. So, I'm kind of excited to have this kind of thing because, you know, I let Sean kind of introduce himself more and kind of let you guys know his background in this whole kind of podcast debate thing that we do.
I just like to debate, really. I just like to debate. You know, I try to do my own thing before, just not feeling it right now, doing it on my own because whatever reason. So, just looking at these guys, seeing what they was doing, I just was itching.
Yeah,
for the
but
opportunity
kind of tell them what the name of your company that you used to do and kind of give us a little background on that, man.
I used to run Control Corner, which Control is short for controversy, with K's. And what I set out to do was to try to get us young people, mainly blacks, to talk about issues that we see all the time. But I tried to trick them into talking about it by presenting it in controversial ways, and it worked for the most part. Whether people actively participated in the debates and talking, lots of people was reading it. And when I stopped doing it, I kept hearing about it. Man, when are you going to bring it back? When are you going to bring it back? And I might bring it back. I'm just focused on something else right now. So This is an opportunity for me to kind of.
That's a good look. I remember when you did. I remember when you was bringing out Control Corner, man, and it was definitely when you used to tweet those topics out. It was always interesting topics. So, man, you know, I'm kind of excited to get into this one, Rizzo.
Yeah, man.
Let's go into the first one, man.
And just before we move on, man, this brother, talented family, all the dudes in their family know how to do something. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Q King. Man, shout out to Brian, shout out to everybody, man, boys. And I got me and Q King, we working on something, man. Shout out to Q King, man. But this first topic, as Dot, we in a group, man. You had posted this video. I had never seen this video until you posted it.
Right.
In California, it was a young brother riding his bike on the sidewalk, and he was harassed by the police. You remember you posted that video, right?
About like last week.
Yeah.
So ago.
Yeah, before we get into that, deep into that, just give me your perspective on that real quick, man.
Well, to get my full perspective, I'm going to back up and explain what I saw. When I first looked at the video, first of all, I already knew what everybody was going to say and what everybody was going to think. Because a lot of times I look at things and I look at the people around me, my peers. My peers are guys like you all, young black men, people that I interact with. I knew that everybody was gonna look at this video and say, "Man, you know that's fucked up. You know that's messed up. They harassing this young black guy. They messing with him because he's black." I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. What I saw was a young black guy, being accosted, apprehended by a female cop of, I'm not even sure of her nationality, so I won't even.
Yeah, she was definitely Hispanic cop.
Hispanic.
Yeah, because in the video, the dude, whoever was recording was like Menendez or something like that.
Yeah, he did say her name in the video. So the first thing I saw was this black guy. He probably was like 17, 18, maybe 18, 20, something like that. He was on a bike on the sidewalk, and she was in front of him. When the video first comes on, the guy says, "I'm not going anywhere." So, to me, when I'm looking at that, I could be wrong because I wasn't there. When I'm looking at that, this guy is defiant off the rip. It seems that she obviously asked him to get off the sidewalk. And so as I posted it and I continued to read, it's very hard for me to be quiet. So I was like, I'm not going to look at the comments because I want to see what everybody's going to say. Everybody was like, she should be doing something else. There's more things going on in the world that she needs to be doing. But we have rules. We have rules that we got to live by. We have rules in school. We have rules when we're driving. We have rules in the airport. We have rules everywhere we go. We have rules where we are right now. You can't come in here and do certain things. So when you break a rule, and somebody's trying to correct you in their rule, and you choose to defy the rule, you have escalated the situation. Not that other person have escalated the situation. Now, you can look at it a couple of ways. Just like you might get pulled over. I keep my military ID in my pocket at all times. I've been out of the military since 2007. You know why I keep it in there? Because as soon as I get pulled over by a cop,
yeah, shout out to my man who served. Sure.
And as soon as I get pulled over by a cop, I'm going to innocently flip past my ID so they can see it. When I was just for my brother's bachelor party in March in Los Angeles, I didn't even flip past it innocently. I just happened to go past it, and the guy saw the ID and was like, "Oh, you in the military?" I was like, "Yeah." Y'all come in free. So I keep it in my wallet because some cop. The point is that some cops, depending on the circumstance, they might choose to do something different. They might choose to say, "You can go on your way," just a warning. That cop could have very well turned around and just said, "Forget it. I'm gonna let him break the rules, and I'm gonna go back in my patrol car and drive down the street." But she did her job. She told him to get off the sidewalk. He said, "No, I'm not gonna get off the sidewalk." So next thing she said was, "Give me your ID." When you get pulled over by police, for a cop to write you a ticket, what do they need to write your ticket? To get your information. They need your identification. So give me your ID. For what, is what the boy was saying. Now, I will admit, she seemed to be new in her job.
Yeah,
she didn't seem to be very confident because, first of all, I would have said, you, with the camera, I don't need to explain anything to you. Because he was the one saying, for what? Then she asked, the boy said, for my ID for what? She was like, so I can, and then she started calling for backup again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know, the situation is escalating because she definitely could use some training, some more training.
Gotcha.
But that's probably why she on the beat and not in the patrol car. She's doing things like on the sidewalk.
Exactly.
So then he says, I'm not going to give you my ID. At this point, the situation is escalating. And me, I know cops, we always see police chase, and as soon as they catch the person they've been chasing, they start beating the hell out of them because they frustrated and they mad because, like, damn, I really have to chase you down. I feel the same way. If my kid's running from an ass whooping, I'm trying to give them, like, I'm mad because you made me have to chase you. So, you know, it might be a little more intensified. And I'm not excusing that. It's just, I'm the type of person that I use logic, and I'm like, it's not a right or wrong thing, but in my mind, I see why that happened that way. Gotcha. Not saying that it's right. So she's asking for the ID. She never got the ID. Then she went to try to arrest him, which she could not because the dude was like towering over her. Yeah, she was weak.
She definitely stronger than her.
Which at that point, when I'm watching the video, my whole opinion about everything went out the window because I was really scared of what was going to happen next. Like when I saw him struggling with that officer, I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And so, you know, they got like down low, like wrestling with each other, and then she couldn't get him. The other guy came out of nowhere, another cop, pushed him against the wall, and turned him around. He started kind of wrestling with him, and I went back and watched this like 70 times. I'm telling you. And at one point, it's like he like reached like towards his waist, and I'm like, man, he tripping because he's close to that weapon. And, you know, I'm thinking like next thing we gonna see here is another black man getting shot down in the street, and he's gonna get off because of everything that happened on this video.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what we're doing sometimes. It's sometimes you just gotta put yourself in a better situation because the odds are already stacked against us as black men. Which is why I always tell people that I teach my children to come home at night. I don't need you out there trying to put out a crusade for black people as a young kid because you're tired. What I need you to do is come home at night and come to me and let me fight them battles for you. Exactly. I don't want you out in the street trying to fight battles against these cops because 9 times out of 10 we're not going to win. We're not going to win because we're the wrong skin color. We're not going to win because we got on the wrong uniform. They got on the uniform when everything on that side of the table is crooked. I'm not saying that lady was crooked, but their system is crooked. And we got the deck stacked against us.
So what you think about that, man? What's your perspective?
Man, it's funny because I agree a lot with this guy, S-Dot, right now. But let me just explain a few things, man. S-Dot, I heard you mention that the guy came and pushed the young brother up against the glass. And I was able to find these guys' names. The guy recording the video, His name is Bryce Allen. Shout out to Bryce Allen for recording that. And the brother that was on the bike, his name was Marquise Harris. Or Marquez, whatever, however you pronounce that. But anyway, when that brother Marquez was pushed up against the wall, would you say that it was after he finally just gave in and was like, man, whatever, and they put the handcuffs on him? Because that's when and it was some little weak ass, you know, he was white, some little weak ass white cop with a helmet, and ran and drove that boy into the window. Because I mean, like you said earlier, he was struggling with the woman, and it's like he was more along defense. He wasn't doing anything harmful to her. I mean, he was on defense, you know. And the girl just had nothing. She had nothing for him. She was looking crazy. And then out of nowhere, this white man with the helmet comes and drives him up against the wall. He's already cuffed. Start kicking him in his legs and everything. And watch this. After all this, this brother received 2 misdemeanors and a felony. All right, and on top of that, the guy filming this got a misdemeanor for resisting, delaying, and or disrupting a public officer, when all he was doing was standing and recording. He didn't grab anybody, he was just standing and recording. And at the end of the video, when you watch this video, the guy recording, Bryce Allen, had his phone knocked out of his hand. I don't know if it was another cop who did that or somebody who bumped into him, but I will say, before I get into the point I'm really trying to make, I don't think it was warranted to give this brother Marquise Harris a felony and